Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to do two stock updates. One of them is going to be Ttcf, and that's a bit of a mini update, and probably the bigger update is going to be about Huya. But in general, I don't think the video will be too long, but I thought I'd talk about these two little subjects that have happened recently. So if you could smash the like button if you're new, subscribe. This is my second attempt at actually recording this video. I recorded it once and I did the same thing as yesterday's video and I went, it's not good enough, so I scrapped it and I've re-recorded it because I just thought, I can't be putting bad content out for you guys. I want to make sure it's the best content that I can do for you guys. So if you could smash the like button, that'd be absolutely amazing. But yeah, we'll do probably the shorter one first, which is just Ttcf. Obviously we've covered it quite a lot on the channel. Ttcf, currently at $20. I mean, I would be very happy if this was to go down a little bit more and I could buy more shares. It is my third biggest holding, I believe, on the US stock front now. But if it could go a little bit cheaper, I'd love to pick up some more shares. But obviously what we've talked about so many times on the channel, a fantastic company, fantastic growth, even outperforming its expectations at the moment. Retail chains that it's getting on board is great. But there's obviously been probably two negatives with Ttcf recently, which was how they handled, and it all goes down to communication, and it goes down to how they handled the CFO change, which there was just a lack of communication that went on there, and once you have a lack of communication you create uncertainty, and then as well you have a lot of speculation about what's going on, and then also with that tied into with a lot of gifting shares, the combination with the CFO leaving at the time when that gifting of shares happened caused a bit of confusion. Ttcf have finally come to clear it what had happened out, but it's just one of those that, why could we not do that first time round? Even though I'm a big massive fan of the company, I just feel like this is just probably the one thing that they could have really improved on, and still need to improve on, is their communication front. But I guess that's just from the point of view is that they have really expanded so rapidly that is kind of catching up with them a little bit. They've gone from being a $1 million company to now $1 billion company, and they have, it's a public company now, so you're going to have a lot more pressure like that on you to kind of just handle them situations a little bit more. And yeah, I think we've all agreed that the communication is probably the one thing that could improve on. And then that led to probably the next thing, which I kind of talked about Ttcf, which was last week. And if you went onto the Ttcf website, if you were following my videos previously or you've seen before, basically there was a banner that came up on the website here, which is now gone, which basically came up and said, we are stopping or not allowing any more orders on the Ttcf website for the next few weeks. Now, it doesn't take a genius to know, how many billion-dollar companies shut down their website down for a few weeks. Have you ever been on Amazon and it's come up, oh, we're not taking orders for a few weeks? It just doesn't happen. It's just not really correct. And also the thing as well is, like, we're not talking about a website that's like, an old, outdated website as well. This is a website that has only been up and running for a under 12 months period. So it's not like it's getting outdated. This is a website that has been recently been built. And the thing as well is, like, I don't have too much knowledge in the website building, but I think most people kind of know is that you don't shut your website down to then do maintenance. You would actually have like a copy, and then you could actually make the coding come across. So it was just kind of like a bit of a weird situation where everyone was like, what's kind of going on with this website? Why is it going down for a few weeks? Like, it shouldn't really happen. And then after digging into it a little bit more, we found out that it wasn't the actual website that was going down for a few weeks. It was actually they're changing their logistics center and distribution center. And it was like, so it's not really even website maintenance. So then when it was like a few weeks, it kind of, made a little bit more sense. But it was just, once again, we were just getting, we're getting tied up in a lot of miscommunication here, which just should have been a lot better. But it is back up and running now. And once again, you just go to the point of view, like, why did you say it was going to be a few weeks if it was only going to be a week? There's a big, massive difference there. But it is back up again, and I can rest a bit easier now and know that it is sorted. When I did go onto the website, there was, as far as I'm aware, there's a few SKUs still missing from the website. So there might just need to be carry on working on that a little bit. But yeah, overall, at least we're back up again. The website's back up again, and just once again, it just kind of goes down to the point of view of, Ttcf could do with just improving that communication slightly. But yeah, the kind of one little negative that I've had over the last few weeks looks like it's been sorted. But going forward, if it could be sorted a bit more better than what it has done, that would be great. So yeah, everything on Ttcf front. Now we can kind of chill out and go back to hopefully getting the confirmation of a Kroger deal and Q2, and hopefully have some strong numbers from Q2, I guess. So yeah, a little bit of news update on Ttcf, saying that a lot of the problems are resolved now, and hopefully any of them problems that we have again in the future solved a little bit better and communicated a little bit better as well. Next up, Huya. So Huya stock today is actually, it had a bit of a slight drop and it's had a massive recovery. And yeah, it's still just chilling around the $6 range. And I've been in this company for about a year. I got around about this time. It went on a bit of a rally. And then it got announced that Huya was going to actually merge with Douyu. And the benefits with merging with Douyu is that they would control massive amounts of the streaming side of the business in China. And they also wouldn't have to compete for the actual streamers to be on their platforms. So yeah, I had this big massive run up, and then when it had the big massive run up, boom, the stock's just gone down since the Douyu merger has kind of come out. The reason why is because it was a bit unfavourable to Huya. It was definitely in Douyu's favour because at the time the merger was a 50-50 merger, and you looked at Douyu, you looked at Huya, and Huya was just the better company. It was the one that was growing a lot faster, better balance sheet, better profit growth, and it was just like, yeah, this is not a fair merger really for Huya. And I think that annoyed a few shareholders with Huya, and they kind of sold out a little bit as well. And yeah, it just wasn't great. And I thought, as me as an investor, I looked at this company. The first thing I looked at is like, this stock came on at 2018 at $16. Since then, it's pretty much grown revenue at like 30% every year. So yeah, the revenue is double what it was back in 2018. The profit growth's really good. The balance sheet's very good. Streaming is just growing and growing. And I looked at the company and just went, this is the company that is, at the same sort of share price since it was when it came onto the stock market. And even now, 3 years on, it's pretty much the same price. And the thing as well is like the valuation's just dropped and dropped. Like the Ford P went down from like a 40 to a 30, and I think it's like a 17 now. So the valuation is just getting cheap, and this for me just screams out that it's such a cheap stock. And the crazy thing is, like I said, I think it was on the way. I was up on this position after I bought it. It was going up on this position quite a bit, and then people just, I think, didn't really like the Douyu merger in the short term, and that basically caused a few people to sell out. And I think as well is like because people are unsure, then it started coming out the Huya and Douyu merger might not be allowed. I think a few people kind of got, this is what happens in the stock market. You start creating uncertainty, and people will leave that company. When uncertainty happens, that's normally when the share price moves in the wrong direction. That's what's happened. People don't know if they're buying Huya. People don't know if they're buying Huya that's going to merge with Douyu. Just so much uncertainty out there, and it just caused a lot of problems for this stock. And I believe that when this uncertainty goes and we have either Huya does merge with Douyu, or it's just Huya that we're buying, then it will move up in the right value like here. But personally for me, I'm not too bothered. Like when I buy stocks, I don't really go into the situation thinking, as soon as I buy it, I want the stock to go up. For me, the first kind of 12, 18 months, I don't really put pressure on my company to perform that well. Ideally, I want it to stay flat or go down because then I can buy more shares. And I've kind of built my position now fully in Huya, but I am kind of getting to the point now where I'm like, okay, we are getting 12 months in, moving towards the 18-month side of it, and like I do want it to start moving on now. So I do kind of want to see this uncertainty that's been created by the merger. I do want to see this kind of go away from the company, because that's what I believe when the stock will move up in the value. Now, what actually happened is there was a report that came out actually saying that China are probably going to block Douyu sale to Huya. So yeah, what we've kind of seen over the last few months is that it does look like there's problems there because the merger was supposed to close in Q2. Looks like they are not going to actually allow this merger to happen, which is fair enough. I mean, I would have preferred the merger to happen, but I still, when I bought Huya, I was buying Huya for that company. I thought, there was the potential for the merger, but I'm happy to still have Huya because I still think it's a great company. And the thing as well is, like, in the short term, I think that without the merger, Huya will actually respond to that a lot better and should probably move up in value. And to be honest with you, the big thing is I'm just looking at this whole situation going, I just want confirmation of it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. So if China actually came out and said it's blocked, I'd actually be very happy with that situation, because then we've just drawn a line in the sand and we can move on in the right direction now. Because one thing that I'm kind of getting a little bit annoyed at Huya is that we just need to kind of make a decision and go with it now, because it has been going on a long time. And I think that if the merger happens, sure, yeah, in the short term, the Huya deal wasn't fair to them. The merger deal wasn't fair to Huya, but in the short term, I still think Huya is a great company, and if it doesn't have the deal, I think it should react and probably go up in value and move in the right direction. And I think that just to show how unbalanced that this deal actually is that today, like I said, Huya is pretty much flat, even though I think it should probably, to be fair, it had a big massive slump and then it actually came up. I actually think Huya today should have been up a fair chunk, with knowing that this deal isn't going to happen, because in my opinion, this deal going through is probably worse for Douyu, because they kind of need this merger. And we look at what's happening to Douyu today, and it's down 14%. And in my opinion, Huya should have moved up in 14% in the right direction. So it's just really weird, what's kind of going on. And to be honest with you, I am kind of looking at Douyu thinking, I don't like Douyu as much as Huya. I prefer Huya, obviously, but Douyu, you can see here, this is like when the merger news actually came out for it. And you can see the stock was actually doing, pretty decent compared to Huya's chart. But yeah, I look at the moment, I think, this company's massively sold off. In fact, it's at its 52-week lows at the moment after today. And I am kind of looking at Douyu at the moment going, if I'm just buying Douyu on its own, it's actually a bit of a tempting consideration to actually go buy it, because even Douyu is a decent company. I think Huya is miles better than Douyu, but even looking at Douyu at $5, I thought, that's not too bad. It's massively sold off. But yeah, I don't know. That's just getting a bit far ahead of myself, really. But the whole point of just going on to Huya is that, I think that, like I said previously, the merger's holding it back. And today, we got some clarity, and hopefully we get some confirmation what's going on. And yeah, to be honest with you, my kind of thoughts here is just, I'd like them to just confirm what the situation is, and we should move on in the right direction. And I think when that happens, Huya will move in the right direction. So yeah, if the merger happens, good. If it doesn't happen, fair enough. It was not great for Huya in the short term anyway, and that might help the stock price a little bit. But yeah, a little bit of an update there with you guys. And like I say, I'm just not really bothered what happens, just that I want a confirmation that we're moving forward now. So we'll see if we do get that confirmation, I guess, overall. But yeah, hope that was useful anyway for you guys that were interested in the Huya video. And as always, smash the like button, you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.